I have something really special that I wanted to share with you, Yakitori. Yakitori goes way back to my time when I was in Okinawa, Japan. My experience with Yakitori started in 1999 in Okinawa, Japan on Camp Schwab. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, we're gonna learn how right here. This is a very amazing grilled, more of a hibachi type chicken, usually done with chicken thighs and brushed with a teriyaki sauce. And the taste and the texture is very specific, and you can't just use any teriyaki sauce. In fact, I even had some trouble trying to find the ingredients. What we really need is tare, and we really can't find that. It's hard to find, so we have to make it. And it's pretty much 1 part soy sauce to 1 part mirin, and that is more of a sweetened rice wine. I couldn't find that, so I'm gonna use this Michu cooking wine. I use that added to my vegetables and when I'm cooking into some yakisoba, and I'll probably do another video for that. Again, my time in Okinawa, Japan, very fun time when I was off the base and learning about the Japanese culture. If you have been to Okinawa, Japan in the service, then you know exactly what yakitori is, and you know how good it is. The biggest place we would go was off of Gate 2 Street, which is near Kadena Air Force Base. It's more of a what we would call a strip. Lots of bars, lots of restaurants, and usually when the bars were closing at 2 o'clock in the morning, the older Japanese men, as we would call them, honchos, I believe that's man in Japanese, the street vendors would show up and they would serve these yakitoris. They'd spray them with a mixture of sake and teriyaki sauce as they're cooking. They have a little hibachi stand that they cook over a charcoal grill, and these yakitori are just incredible, and I'm aiming to recreate these. I've researched a few recipes, and most of the recipes that you find out there are absolute trash. Be very particular about where you are finding your recipes, because most of it's Americanized. I don't want that. In fact, a lot of Japanese restaurants I've been to, they claim they have yakitori, and it's just grilled chicken breast with maybe a little bit of soy sauce on it or whatnot. I'm hoping to recreate the nostalgia that I had so many years ago, and I still remember what it tastes like. It's the texture, it's the smell, it's the flavor, it's everything. So let's get started. I actually have some really delicious Sanjay soy sauce. It's actually gluten-free. Some people need to eat gluten-free. Most of the soy sauces have gluten in it, have wheat in it for whatever textures. This doesn't. This has a lot of amino acids in it. It's actually made in America by a Japanese oversight company, and I think that's kind of cool. It's one of my favorite soy sauces out there. There's lots of good ones. This is a really rich one that doesn't taste like just salt and whatever the brown stuff is, the soy flavor. It's a really rich, deep flavor. And so we're gonna use this. We're gonna equal parts of this. I'm probably gonna use about a quarter cup of this. Then I've got my cooking michu, which has many uses. And this usually is a little bit sweeter, so we're actually gonna add a little extra sugar. Usually you put a tablespoon or 2 of sugar. We're probably gonna do equal parts of sugar and everything. So let's go ahead and get that started. So I've got a quarter cup here. I'm gonna do a quarter cup of this amazing soy sauce. And then we're gonna use a quarter cup of the cooking wine. So what we wanna do is we wanna simmer it for about 10 or 15 minutes. We wanna reduce the volume by about 1/3. That's going to thicken it up. That's going to give a more of a glaze kind of feel to it. Now we're getting to a point where I think we are ready. It's thickened up. We've reduced some of the moisture in it. It's a little thicker here. I think it's ready. Let's turn the heat off. Let's get our fire ready. So I've got some charcoal. Traditionally, you've got a specific grill or hibachi designed exactly for yakitori. Now, I don't have that. Usually it's about 4 inches deep and about 1 or 2 feet wide, and that way you can grill these short skewers about 3 or 4 inches long with a little bamboo stick on the end, and it's really easy to handle. But we're gonna do these, we're gonna do them in a circle around the edge. So let's get that started. Fill it all the way up almost. Got some newspaper in here. Let's get this started. Something about the smell of newspaper burning means you're gonna be eating something really good really soon. Ooh, smoky hands. So now that we've got this thing started and heating up, let's go prep our chicken. So I've got a decent amount of chicken thighs right here. I opted to get the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So I want them relatively thin. And then we're just going to cut them in about 1-inch cubes. They don't have to be 1 inch deep, just 1 inch square. Right, I think we're gonna have a lot more than I need, but I think this will be good being able to heat it up later on for a snack. So I don't think I'm gonna be doing more than 10 or 15, but I'm gonna grab a few extra. I'm gonna put these on here. I'm going to leave a good handle so I can pick them up with, but this is also going to be my clean hand. We don't really need to soak these because the part that's going to be over the fire is supposed to be completely covered by this beautiful chicken. Each piece doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of it all. You just skewer it on. I find to go, the first part you put on is the underside of the meat because it's harder to first penetrate the skin part of the meat. Alright, we got one. And I really hope that I can recreate exactly what I remember when I was in Japan. The nice thing is you don't have to marinate any of this. You just salt it a little bit and then you put it on. Not even pepper. Just a bit of salt. We're going to grill them till they're a good portion of the way done. And then we're going to start putting the tare on top. We're going to brush it on. Alright, so now I've got these out. I'm going to lay them out. All 10 of them. Now I'm just going to have a little shaker. I put some Diamond Crystal Kosher salt into it. This is all we really need for right now, just some salt. Now let's flip them. Salt the other side. This is all prepared. Let's go check our charcoal, see if it's hot enough. Well, it looks like we're pretty much there. We got enough flames out the top. Let's go ahead and dump it in. Before we dump it, I'm going to spray some coconut oil onto the grilling grate so we don't get it all stuck later. Now, now we can spread these out evenly. Put this on. A little bit of ash won't matter. Now we're going to close it so we can get the grill grate really high. We want it hot in here, and we're going to grill it with the lid up. Alright, we're sitting about 350, which is a good start. Got some good heat in here. Let's go ahead and get these things on. Now these will just have to be monitored while we're doing this. Typically you don't close the lid, you do it as a more of a hibachi grill type thing. All the heat is direct heat coming up from the bottom. I can already smell the chicken, it smells fantastic, but I can't wait to make this taste like the yakitori. Thank you. I can't wait to brush on the sauce that I made It's been a few minutes, probably about 4 minutes, so let's go ahead and turn these. We'll probably turn them 3 or 4 times maybe, until they get the texture they need. Here comes the AC, important this time of year. Rotate them 90 degrees, get them on their edge. I'm going to do this for another 3 or 4 minutes, then flip it 180 degrees, and then we'll probably start brushing on some of this beautiful sauce. So let's flip them one more time. Starting to get a little color on here. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get a heat thermometer in here just to kind of see where we're at. We're probably, my guess is sitting around 130, 140. These things are almost ready for a little glaze. So I kind of steered you wrong when I was doing my tare sauce. Yeah, I had my numbers wrong. It was definitely the right ratio, but it wasn't enough. I didn't think I'd have enough, and I had enough chicken to do another 10 or 12 of these. So I ended up adding a half cup more of each item, simmering it down, and so now I have a whole bunch. So let's check the temp. 145, 140, 148. All right, so we can start brushing this on as it grills to perfection. You don't want to put this stuff on too early because of the amount of sugar content, it's gonna end up getting burned. Let's get you closer. It smells really good. This stuff is really rich, so it doesn't need a whole lot. We're just gonna brush it on a little bit. All right, it's been about a minute. Let's flip these bad boys. These things should hopefully caramelize without burning too bad. Get a lovely, delicious texture and flavor. Hopefully be exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. Do 2 rounds. That's what I did on the first time. Some of it will run off and some of it will stay. That's all right. Nothing's burning yet. We want to pull these off right around 170, 180, and that's probably going to be about where it's going to be perfection. All right, let's get another temp. Always about food safety. 150, so we're starting to rise in temperature pretty good. Let's flip these over. Starting to get a little more color on this. Don't want too much color. Too much color is burnt. See how beautiful these colors are starting to come out. And here comes my AC again, because it's hot, guys. It's like really hot. These guys are almost ready. Yep, I think these guys are about ready. They're about 175, 180. One more brush and we'll pull them off. Now the guys on the hibachi would actually have a spray bottle and he would spray it on, I guess because he was doing so much more. Yeah, definitely I think these guys are ready. Alright guys, here it is. Most beautiful thing in creation. At least today. Recap, went ahead and started our Soy Sauce. Once that was about done, then we started our charcoal grill. We did our chicken. You could always do the chicken first. Chopped it up in about 1-inch squares. Put it on the skewers. While that salt set on the meat, we started our grill and got that hot, and we grilled it. Once we hit about 150, 160, we went ahead and started basting these. Of course, that cools it off a little bit, so you kind of slow the cooking down a little bit. Probably basted it probably about 5 or 6 times as we rotated it. But I'm gonna stop talking. I can't wait to bite into this. Oh my God. I don't think that's as good as the stuff I had in Japan, but it's definitely like 90% of what I had. Of course, you have somebody who's probably been doing this most of their career, making ends meet, working an extra job at night at the clubs at 2 o'clock in the morning, but oh my goodness. It just comes right off. It's sweet, it's got a deep soy flavor, it's rich. Comes right off. If you guys haven't made these yet, what are you waiting on? Shut the show off, write the ingredients down, go get them and make them tonight. This is phenomenal. And of course, this brings back a lot of memories of my time in the service when I was in the Marine Corps on Okinawa, Japan. Thank you for watching the video. This brings us to our conclusion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos. I love a lot of ethnic cooking. I love food from all over the world. And certainly, I love eating everything that I can get my hands on. Thank you for coming out. Miles out, right here. That can't be beat. Oh, you thought we were done. Ha! Well, have a little bonus for you. Let's wait about 2 minutes. Probably won't even take 2 minutes. Probably been about 1 minute. Let's let it go for a little bit more. Tell me that's not beautiful. You know when they say put shrimp on the Barbie? I guess that means this. Oh man. You guys. I had so much sauce left over. I had a whole bunch of fresh shrimp. Oh, 12 anyway. 12 jumbo shrimp that were fresh. Deheaded them, deshelled them, and I deveined them for you off camera so you didn't have to. Then I took a bowl, about a 1/4 cup of the Soy Sauce. Put them on the grill. When I flipped them, I poured the rest of the sauce on top. These are perfect. It's going to take about 3 minutes to cook. What are you gonna hear? Oh, it's just fresh shrimp are the absolute best. No more cooking tonight. Come find me on my next video, okay?